Dear listeners, welcome to a special Halloween program on this chilly night right here on URSU Radio. I'm your host, Kimia Orin. Halloween is all about embracing the spooky side of life, and today we have got some real-life horror tales to share as a special treat just for you. These stories have sent shivers down our spines, and we cannot wait to recount them for you. I'm joined by my dear friends, Noshin and Cynthia. We are three newcomers to this city. We are all originally from Bangladesh, and while Halloween isn't a part of our cultural heritage, we are here to experience it as international students for the first time. Over the past few weeks, we have watched with fascination as people in this new city have been adorning their homes with spooky decorations, donning costumes that could send shivers down your spine, and indulging in treats and eats with a distinctly haunting twist. So the three of us decided to jump into the Halloween spirit with both feet. A mutual friend of ours directed us to this aging, mysterious house where we find ourselves tonight. It's a property that's seen 70 long years, and it's currently the abode of our friend's grandmother. She's gone away for the week to spend time with her daughter's family, and she's kindly allowed us to take over her home for the evening. So, here we are, the three of us. We have made sure the house is securely locked, and for added measure, we have ventured down into the basement, a place with no phone signal. To enhance the spine-tingling atmosphere, Noshin's gone and just left one lone light bulb glowing, so you can imagine the scene. We are creating an ambience akin to a truly abandoned haunted house, one that's cloaked in eerie darkness save for this single flickering light. And as our night unfolds, we will be recording our experiences with the supernatural, the uncanny, and the downright spooky whatever comes. So, fasten your seatbelts and get ready for a Halloween adventure like no other. Stay tuned for more chills and thrills right here on URSU Radio. As we made our way to this house, the atmosphere outside was already eerie. The streets were filled with pumpkins and spooky decorations, but as we entered this old house, it was like stepping into a different world. You know, old houses have that distinct creaking sound when you walk on the wooden floors, and it sends shivers down your spine. There was this old portrait in the hallway that felt like it was watching my every move. It gave me the chills, and I couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. And then again, we're here to experience the spooky stuff, right?
That's pretty creepy. And as for me, when we decided to come here, I was all in for the Halloween experience. But as soon as we entered the basement and turned off all the lights except for the one dim light, I realized how darkness can play tricks on your mind. I keep on hearing strange sounds like faint whispers in the darkness, and sometimes it feels like someone is standing behind our shoulders. I cannot help but get goosebumps.
It was exhilarating, but also incredibly nerve-wracking. All the time, we get this feeling of an unseen presence in this room with us. It's difficult to explain, it's just a vibe, the feeling of dread. Alright then, enough about the setting and the environment. Let's now dive right into the storytelling episode. Our friend Cynthia, she has been awfully quiet all along and she never wanted to come here in the first place. So let's just start with her. Cynthia, would you like to share your story with us?
I have a lot of experience with ghosts. Most of it are personal. And for today's story, it happened when I was in Bangladesh and doing my bachelor's.
Was it a long time ago?
Not that long. It was around 2021, I guess.
Did you meet any supernatural being?
I think so, I did. but I also was kind of like in half sleep that time. So the story goes like this. So I was very tired at that time. I was going through like my bachelor's stress and all like studies, and I had this one red night light, and that day I wanted to like sleep while turning the nightlight on. And I have a lot of experience with sleep paralysis when I am in stress. So I'm pretty much expert in this area, like how to handle myself. Sleep paralysis happens when, well, I won't go to the medical terms, but it's like your whole body is like you cannot move, and you can move part of your like finger toes or like fingers and anything like that, but you cannot move your whole body, and you feel like you're like a dead person at that time. So it's kind of like a reality also, but it's not a reality. It's kind of that situation. So that day I went to bed, and the place I used to live at that time, surrounding was pretty quiet, and there were a lot of trees. And our apartment was at the top floor of that building. It was 7th floor, so it was pretty quiet. So went to sleep. I thought that I wasn't in sleep, but I like that time I suddenly got like the sleep paralysis. But I also when I was in that state, I was trying to move, but then I saw something coming out from the washroom door and like crawling towards my bed. It was closer to my feet, and like I was trying really hard. Like I didn't have that experience before, like with a ghost or something. I had sleep paralysis.
How
but
did he look like?
he looked I think it was she. It had
Okay.
like long hair, and like the face was ugly and I couldn't see the proper face, but it the there were like blood everywhere on its like skin and like body. And she was really close to my feet that time, and fortunately I was able to move my toe at that time, and I regained my whole body's control. And at that time I felt like my body shook, and I was woken up from a dream, but it didn't feel like a dream at all. It felt so real, and like the whole situation, it felt very real. And some people might say I was hallucinating when I was like in like half sleep or something, but it felt very real to me. And after that I still don't sleep while turning on the nightlight. I cannot. I'm traumatized. So because of the Halloween festival going around here, I've been seeing these amazing decorations of every houses. And while like roaming around at night, I saw this house. Like they kept a table, and on that table they put a white cloth, and there was like a foot at the very end of the cloth that was hanging out, and it almost felt like there was a dead person sleeping on that table. And after seeing that, that reminded me of that situation. My and like it was terrifying. That house, like it should get a best Halloween decoration award. It's really horrifying. My whole life is kind of around Halloween stuff or like ghost stuff. So I kind of work part-time work at a Halloween store, and I've seen like a lot of like there are two alley where they have all the Halloween decorations, and there is one alley there. It has a lot of masks, Halloween masks, and it's like I hate that alley. But people are coming to the store and like they're buying those stuff, and like, okay, you guys are really brave. And they like I like the witch stuff, like the where they put the hat, and like also they have the broom and other stuff. And yeah, there are also pretty cute costumes, like the kids come and pick up their costumes. So one time, it was during the closing hours of the store. I was doing front facing of the store, like pulling out stuff and like clearing out the alleys. So I was walking on the Halloween alley, and there was at during that time, like supervisor wanted to turn off the lights of the store. It wasn't like the it wasn't that dark, but it's still like it was quite dark. So at when he turned off the light, suddenly there was this Chucky doll. It makes sound when you like uh, push a button, but when he turned off the lights, it suddenly started
Can you
like
find
talking
me?
and making sound.
I'm here. Behind you, look. Behind you. Don't be scared. I just want to play a
And
game with
nobody was
you.
there to like push the buttons or anything, or I wasn't even like walking in front of it, and I just ran from that
Hey,
situation.
Don't you
I
run
just ran.
away. Please stay. Stay with me. If you don't come play with me, then we will kill you.
Now every time when it's closing hours, I don't go to those two aisles. I just remain the other like party stuff aisles, but those two I don't go to that. Those.
Well, Cynthia, that's definitely something. Thank you for sharing your experience. And Noshin also seems to be enjoying your story a lot. So, Noshin, would you like to now go next and share your experience and maybe let us have some fun of it also?
I have an exciting story and I am too much excited to share with you, though it's a horror story and I feel goosebumps when I try to remember this, but I would like to share with you and others.
Alright, so what happened?
Back in 2010, I along with my family, I went to a picnic. We went there to spend a family time with the nature. That's why we went near a jungle. We went there to stay a night in a resort.
Is it somewhere here?
Not actually, I am from Bangladesh, so it was in our country. In Bangladesh, the place was named as Madhupur Garh, which is famous for its natural beauty, deep jungle, wild animals, and we went there because there was my uncle. He was working there as a resort manager. We went there at the morning. We did a lot of activities, fun activities. We spent a good time day long. After the sunset, we gathered in the front space and we sang songs. I, along with my sisters, also played cards. We actually spending a good time doing barbecue. The actual story started after 1 a.m. when we all went to sleep. I, along with my young sister, we went to a room to sleep, and my parents went to another. Suddenly, I feel that something is touching my leg. I thought my younger sister did something, so I ignored it. After that, second time I feel that, and I just get nervous. So I was thinking that I'm feeling thirsty. That's why I went to the kitchen near to our room and opened the fridge to get some cold water. Sudden of the moment, I can see a shadow is passing through the corridor. I started to shivering what is happening, but I like to be adventurous. That's why I started to follow the shadow. Really, it makes me curious what is happening here. That's why I started to follow the shadow. I also can heard a sound which is making a noise like ankle bell, tung 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 tung. Then I follow and follow. Suddenly, I can see a girl wearing dresses like dancing dresses with white shari, which we call in our region shari, and with red border. Also, she has a long hair. She is well organized, and it's like she will go to do some dance. I astonished why this type of people is now here. So I go to the closer to her and ask her why she is here, who is she, but I didn't get any reply. That's why I get more curious. I want to know who is she. Then I waited there, and I also searched for a look around the surrounding. I can explore that, and it was the backside of the resort. And in a blink, I saw that her front side, because she was in the backside before. Now she faced me. Oh no, that's a horrible face. I can see her blood and flesh is coming out from her body, and everything is so scary. That's why I just fainted out that time. It was like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. It was around sunrise time. So my parents went our room and they didn't get me. That time they started to looking for me, and they found me in the backside of the resort. And after that, I get them, and I also recover. I cannot remember what happened after that. I fainted away, but I can remember this lady, the shadow is faded away, and I was just fainted. Then my parents get me. After that, I can heard that this girl belonged to this house. From that caretaker of this resort, I can know that some of their relatives, or maybe for some conspiracy, pulled her from the rooftop and she died. After that, she sometimes came to this house, roam around, and try to take revenge. That's why she came and make people scared.
Well, now, Shin, I don't know what to say about this. It must have been an awful experience for you. I guess it's my turn now. Let me begin by telling you that I have never believed in ghosts. In my rational mind, there is always a logical explanation for any mysterious happening. I do remember one incident. It was many years ago when I was probably just 11 years old, and my cousin, she was a couple of years older at 13, and we went to visit our maternal uncle's house in a remote village. His house stood in the middle of vast fields with no other dwellings nearby. It was a tranquil place during the day, but little did we know that it would turn into a nightmare as the night approached. In the evening, our uncle and aunt left for some work and promised to return in an hour or two. Before they left, they challenged us to watch a horror movie together. promising us a reward if we could brave through it. The idea of proving our courage excited us both, and we readily accepted the challenge. Then we picked a horror movie, something, probably it was Evil Dead Part 2 or something like that, and we started watching. It was all fun and games at first. We could tell that some scenes were deliberately meant to scare us, but we laughed at the silliness of it. We were two brave kids, or so we thought. But then, in the midst of the movie, there came a scene that would haunt our memories forever. A ghostly girl sat up from the dead and began making eerie growling noises with her head twisting from side to side.
Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. So Incy Spider went up the spout again.
I don't know, just at that moment, both of us felt it, a shadow swiftly passing behind us. We tried to convince ourselves it was just a hallucination, but deep down, we could not shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. The other scenes suddenly started to appear much scarier, and we couldn't help but feel like we were a part of that terrifying movie. Just then, the landline phone rang, startling us, as a similar scene was playing in the movie at that time. Oddly enough, neither of us could muster the courage to answer it. We clung to each other, hands covering our ears and eyes, too frightened to even consider turning off the movie. Finally, my cousin suggested that we should take a walk outside for a while, hoping that when we return, things would somehow be better. But as we reached for the doorknob, our hearts sank. We remembered that our uncle had not locked the door from the outside, fearing that we may need to go for some emergency, but had asked us to close it from the inside. And yet, the door refused to open. We were trapped inside with the horror of that movie and the eerie feeling surrounding us that we were not alone. When we could not open the door, panic set in. We dragged ourselves to the phone to dial our parents, hoping they could help us. But we were shocked to find it was not working. But just a while ago it rang. And there we were, two children trying to convince ourselves that ghosts were not real, yet locked inside a house in the middle of nowhere with no way out and no idea what lay beyond that door. Just imagine.
Hey Kimia, I think you should stop now. I'm scared, but I think Cynthia is more scared. She just hold my hand so tightly I cannot move. Please stop now.
Oh, well, Naushin, I don't think it's Cynthia's hands because I can clearly see them from here.
Oh my god. Then who is it?
Well, listeners, Nalshin has just run away and Cynthia is somehow glued to her chair, frozen. And that's all for our Halloween adventure for tonight. Have a hauntingly good night until next time. Goodbye, take care.